Sportswire Radio has risen, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off a rather eventful Easter. If you were like me and you just saw Godzilla and Kong and you just watched some March Madness, maybe your team's still alive in your brackets, but forget about all of that because arguably maybe we have our own tonight, Godzilla and Kong, because coming up at No Return 5, the first premium live show from Tennessee Backyard Wrestling for Season 8. It's going to be a match for the Hardcore Championship where the winner has to bow down to the other. But our guest tonight was once called Jacob Anderson. Then he went to Jacob Young. Then he was the Black Fox, but now he's simply put Jacob Young. Although if you caught his words on the last TBW Rampage, just maybe he'll unleash the Black Fox one more time. He'll tell us, though, our guest tonight, why he came back last week and what he's going to do to the man that he says that he's been responsible for his new look and new attitude, and also why he calls him the puppet on the string, which he's controlling. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since not only our guest was back in TBW, but also here on Sportswire Radio. And just maybe, we'll find out once and for all why what only hurts him makes him stronger. And he'll tell us about anything and everything. As I stated, we're going to get you ready for No Return 5. It's been a hot skip in a minute since our guest was last back on Sportswire Radio, and it's time to now give him, just maybe, that Black Fox-like introduction that he's been waiting for. Well, I think he's been waiting for. I've been waiting to give him, and if you're a fan of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, you know it's time to give it. So let's get right to it here and cap off Easter in style and maybe with a little bit of a hardcore taste to it. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show from Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. Simply put, his name is Jacob Young. My friend, happy Easter. How are you?
Happy Easter to you, Tom. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great because I'm getting a chance to speak with you, and I certainly don't want to stand in your way tonight about what you have to say and what you'll probably do at No Return 5 to your opponent, who you've also referred to as the Atomic Twerp, and also as somebody that's been a filth on your stain. But you know, Jacob Young, in many ways, we celebrate this day on Easter as Christ is risen. It's a new year. It's a promise of a new day. Like Paula Abdul famously sang over 30 years ago, and it was number one on the pop charts for several weeks. And in many ways, you're attempting to be number one on the hardcore charts, and especially of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, as you have risen, and you have risen once again after you defeated in a 2 out of 3 falls match your cousin, the Grim Reaper, Joe Anderson. But because all wrestling matters, Jacob Young, tell us why you're going to, this time coming up at No Return 5, at Tennessee Backyard Wrestling's first premium show of the year, why you're going to make the current hardcore champion, the Atomic Titan, bow down to you.
Well, you see, Tom, when you are like me and you create something that you think is going to be good and is going to help somebody, and then they turn it around and use it against you, and then they injure you, that's when you have to get personal. That's when you have to tap into the darkness. That's when you have to embrace the pain and the hate. And sometimes you just have to unleash certain things that even they can't stand. And when he says the words, "I bow down," he's going to get on his knees and he's going to look at me and he's going to finally realize that I've been pulling his strings all along.
Well, it's interesting that you talked about unleashing things. And obviously, at the last TBW episode, there was loud and deafening chants of the Black Fox. But you said the Black Fox wasn't coming out. We were getting just Jacob Young, but then all of a sudden, you sort of relented and you said maybe the Black Fox will come out. I mean, I have to ask you, Jacob, will maybe what we see is kind of what you also mentioned in Unleashing Pain, is that the Black Fox may, after all, come out at No Return 5 to force the man that you've called the Atomic Twerp to bow down?
You know, Tom, that's a very good question because even I don't know yet. I don't know what it's going to take to beat the Atomic Titan. The best, as he calls himself, the hardcore king. I don't know what it's going to take to beat him. It may take the Black Fox. It might. You gotta. Sometimes in the world, you gotta embrace the darkest parts of you, and sometimes those parts are just too strong. You see, the reason I got rid of the Black Fox was because it started becoming a gimmick. It started becoming. I was coming out every week, crawling, doing the whole dance,
You did.
basically, and the fans loved it. They loved it, but you see, I started to hate it.
Why? Why did you start to hate it? Because the fans love you. They love seeing you back in TBW.
And I did love it for a while, but it was the gimmick. It's something that you only embrace once in a while. I feel like the Black Fox is a special character, a special entity, a special being in my body that I only want to bring out when I want to bring out.
You know, you said something, and I'll get to comments. I want to say hello to everybody and happy Easter. And I actually have a package I'd like to open in a little while. So maybe we'll have a point where I get a chance to do that. But, you know, you talked about what puts down the Atomic Titan and how difficult that may be. But, you know, Jacob, I would say conversely, how about how difficult it's been for the Atomic Titan, the hardcore king, the current TBW hardcore champion, it is to put you down? Because even though he's beaten you twice and he put you in the hospital, I'm talking to you right now. And it seems to me, from what we saw between you guys and the conclusion of your segment at 158, you might be the guy that's got the edge, and the Atomic Titan might be trying to figure out what does it take to permanently keep Jacob Young down.
You know, looking back on Atomic Titan's history, I don't know that his old self can do it.
You talked about that before we saw this change. You basically were, kind of challenging Mr. Titan, and basically, he struggled all last year, really. He was trying to finish the story and get the story, and it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, and it took me, Tom, to reach him, to have him hear me, to have him embrace a darkness that he didn't know was there. And then he came up with this new character, and now he's actually finishing his story.
So let me get this straight. Not only are you responsible for Atomic Titan finishing his story, but does that in a way give you maybe responsibility, or I don't know, a portion of that hardcore championship? Because if you're responsible for what we've seen currently of Atomic Titan, well, doesn't that in a way make you responsible, or gives you a portion of that hardcore championship? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's a very good point. You see, that's why I came back, Tom, because I felt like, and I feel like, that championship should have never left my hands. But at the event, when he put that rope around my neck and almost broke it,
He almost killed you. Listen, he almost killed you. I mean, literally and figuratively.
I passed out. There was no tapping. So
We spoke
what's it
about it
gonna?
here when you were on the show the first time. We spoke about that, and you're standing here still. Maybe you are. Instead of Jacob Young, maybe should we be calling you Jesus Young? Because after all, Easter, for those that obviously are Christian, Catholic, whatever your ethnicity or religion is, Christ rises today, and maybe Jacob Young a few weeks ago in the return of TBW in anticipation of Easter, maybe you've risen.
Like I said, something broke, not just physically, but mentally. Titan, I said it in the promo. Titan, I don't consider you a puppet anymore. Now you're just a filthy stain in my way.
Mm. Mm. Let me ask you though. It had been a while since we saw you in TV. It kind of concluded with the season ending, and before that. So, what were these last 3 or 4 months like for you, Jacob Young? I mean, was there a lot of reflection? Was there a lot of pain? I mean, what were these last few months like before we saw you make your return in the season debut at 157?
Like you said, it's a lot of self reflection, a lot of doubt, a lot of wondering if I could do this anymore, a lot of pushing myself mentally and physically, trying to get myself back in ring shape. It was really hard.
What was more hard for you, the physical aspect or the mental aspect of it?
Probably the mental,
Why?
because once you're pushed beyond your breaking point, you want to slip into a hole, and sometimes it takes somebody to whisper in your ear. But when you're a puppet master, sometimes you just have to pull your own strings,
Wait,
get
wait,
yourself.
wait, 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 wait. Time out. I'm gonna get to people. I know people want to talk. I know people are starting to come in, and we want to say thank you everybody for tuning in, and hope everybody has having a happy Easter so far, and for those who celebrate, God bless you. But you referred to yourself as the puppet master. You've obviously said that you're no longer saying that Titan's the puppet on the string which you're controlling, but you're the puppet master of yourself. How is that possible?
You see, when you control your own destiny, you control your own fate. And right now, my fate,
Uh, I think we lost you, Jacob Young. I think, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Young has been frozen and lost in space here. Hopefully he comes back because we just lost his connection. So if you are out there, I would hope you follow Tennessee Backyard Wrestling because Jacob Young is supposed to be a big part of things here at their next upcoming show, No Return 5. If you want to follow and watch TBW, you can do that on all the links below. And especially on YouTube, they've got over 7,000 subscribers. So make sure that you support Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, and we are waiting anxiously. There we go. We lost you there. We lost you there, Jacob. I thought maybe, maybe Atomic Titan was actually controlling your internet for a second there.
Yeah, it disconnected. I apologize for that.
That's okay. You're Jacob Young. We're not going to hold it against you. You were saying, go ahead, because it was so fascinating. We were talking about you actually being the puppet controlling yourself.
Yes, I'm the puppet master controlling myself.
Yeah, how's that possible? Oh, there we go. We keep losing you. What is going on here, Jacob Young? Is Atomic Titan trying to play games with your internet or what? But I'm fascinated still about this whole thing about you being the puppet master to yourself.
I got my, like I said, I forgot what I said. That's impressive.
Well, you're Jacob Young, so we're not going to hold it against you. But, I guess to kind of come back to it, you've got a lot to prove here. And you're in a match that it's really more of your element. What we saw from you at 158, you got the upper hand on Titan. You were able to even hold that belt back up. What did that feel for you, Jacob, in having that hardcore title back in your hands, raising it up? What did that feel for you?
I felt like I did the first time I held it, when I never lost it officially and I had to give it up due to injury. I felt like this was something that I needed, something that I wanted, something that I've been missing.
What would it mean to you to be the TBW Hardcore Champion after No Return 5?
It would mean everything, because then it would mean all of this. All of bringing the darkness out of Titan, all of getting rid of the Black Fox for the time that I have. It would mean everything, because then it would mean that I'm back on top and that I'm where I belong.
Well, we're going to find out. I have some questions, but I want to get to some comments here, first of all, because a lot of people want to say a number of things to you. First of all, I want to say hello to the man coming on in your chair next Sunday, the standout Xavier Thorne here. He says, "Hey, Jacob Young, thank you for helping me see the light, but please take out the man who created the standout. Hey, Titan." He laughs. So I guess that's Xavier Thorne being Xavier Thorne, I suppose. So we say, hi, Xavier Thorne, and happy Easter to you, because it is Easter after all. And I'm excited about having Jacob Young and Atomic Titan on here. And I agree with our friends at TBW. Let's go hashtag Jacob Young. So it's always good to see TBW here. By the way, I got to give a big shout out, by the way, before I do anything. Give a shout out to TBW, because look at my TBW merchandise. Now, Jacob, you were telling me off the air, where's my Jacob Young shirt? Well, I said, to be fair, we have Atomic Titan now. Mr. Titan's going to be here later on. I didn't want to be partial, so I figured by putting my TBW shirt on, that could at least show some neutrality and give everybody an equal chance. I want to say that maybe we will get the Jacob Young and Atomic Titan merchandise later on, but for tonight, we want it to be neutral. Want to say hello and a happy Easter to the good guy, CJ Black. I watched a Rumble today that trumps anything I've ever seen Atomic Titan do. I'm not sure about that, but I'm happy that he's tuned in, and I want to wish him a happy Easter. My buddy Nate, how you doing, Nate? Nate's got a lot of money, and no, he's not buying any companies, at least as far as I know. He says the best talent in Tennessee doesn't reside in TBW, UWA, but TBW is what we're talking about, and I wish UWA very well, but I'm happy to be here with TBW coverage, and of course, our owner, also in our Hall of Fame, the one and only Mr. Joshua Allen, and boy, he was firm, and we'll see if he can give that one and only Grim Reaper Joe Anderson some help in his own itch. I'm not going to ask you about Joe Anderson and his itch. I am not going there. Yeah, I'm not going there, because like you said, you're done with Joe Anderson. Joe Anderson, you're finished. You've gotten rid of him once and for all. And Nate says, who sent me the package? The Muffin Man. Is there such thing as a Muffin Man? But I will open up that package before we bring on the Atomic Titans. I'll open that package up. Maybe you gave me a Jacob Young shirt, Jacob Young. Maybe that's what it is. You never know. I want to say hello to one of our buddies. I don't know. Do we consider him a part of TBW, or it's Mr. D'Angelo the Flame? We've seen him in TBW so many times, and He's doing a fantastic job. He is the Resurrection Wrestling Internet Champion, and happy Easter, D'Angelo.
He actually holds a pin over me, and I got to get him back for that. So,
Well, let's get through Titan first, and then maybe we'll talk about
yeah.
D'Angelo of Fame. A funny question here. Jacob Young, who would you fight, Brian Myers or Matt Cardona? But and I have breaking news here in a second. So you want to answer that fun question real quick for a second?
Yeah. I mean, I loved Matt Cardona of when he was with Edge. So Matt Cardona for sure. I don't really think I know who Brian Myers is.
Brian Myers was he was in Impact. He was in WWE. He was Kurt Hawkins in WWE.
Oh, okay, Kurt Hawkins. So also with Edge.
Yes. Yeah.
So either one.
They've been
I'd
the
be
indie
honored.
darlings. Yeah, they're the indie darlings now, especially Matt Cardona. But I will have a sort of an interruption for a second. But did the Easter Bunny come for me? No, it didn't. But maybe you know something I don't. Want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Michael Christian. His stepfather was Festus Davis. We want to say hello to Festus. My buddy Levi McDaniel is on YouTube. Got a great page. Top of the evening, mates. That's a good one. Yeah, thank you for that. Also, want to say hello to you, and I want to say thank you very much. But it looks like I might have somebody that might want to come on here right now. Would you be okay with me doing that?
Oh goodness. Sure.
You sure? You sure I'm going to do that? Because I don't know if you don't want to unleash the Black Fox. I'll do it. I won't do it. I mean, you tell me.
Um, maybe you should wait to make him sweat. Whoever it is, he'll sweat a little bit.
All right, you know what? We'll make him sweat. We'll make him sweat. So I'll make him sweat, and we'll actually, you know what? We'll even give him a little more time because I want to open my package up. So he's going to hang on tight for about 10 minutes. I want to let him give him that signal. But we've been calling the Atomic Titan, right? He's been calling himself the Hardcore King, Hollywood Titan. Now, let's say that you win at no return five. Obviously, what you've seen so far from you would say that you've got a great shot at this. But let me ask you a question. So, Jacob Young, if you make Atomic Titan bow down to you, does that mean, in addition to calling you once again the TBW Hardcore Champion, we're now going to call you the Hardcore King, Jacob Young?
You see, the hardcore king thing is Titan still. I don't consider myself a king. I'm gracious enough to consider myself a wrestler. So when I get in there and wrestle and prove my worth to everyone, that's when I get respect. I don't demand respect like Titan. I earn it. And I'm going to earn it from Titan. And when he bows down to me, he's going to know the true meaning of respect.
But you know something, you obviously, a lot of people respect you, right? A lot of people look at you and say, Jacob Young, you've been kind of the guy that's been our Mick Foley of TBW. If you wanted to call yourself the Hardcore King and put yourself into the discussion with the likes of Mikey Anarchy and Mac 10, we certainly know Mac 10 very well, and Jimmy Controversy, hardcore names, and a guy hardcore whose literally name is Hardcore, I think people would kind of want to hear you call yourself the Hardcore King, but you don't. I mean, any reasons further why?
Like I said, Tom, it's not about a moniker. It's not about a nickname.
Okay.
That's why I got rid of the Black Fox for a while, because it became a nickname. It became a gimmick. It became something, yeah, the fans loved it, but it became something that was starting to become stale and pointless, because the only time the Black Fox should come out is when I want him to come out.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I want to get to two quick things before I actually decide to bring on Mr. Titan, because he is now ready and he has a lot that he wants to address. Nate gets his money from stocks. God bless you, Nate. And before I open up my package, I want also to remind people tomorrow night, you got to tune into this one, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I have on, I know you're Jacob Young, and it's always good to have you back, but I have the GTS Intercontinental Champion, Rad Dad Radley Belmont, literally just hours before Grimomania. Everybody's talking about WrestleMania, but we got Grimomania, And GTS is the 7th most viewed YouTube company for any wrestling promotion out there. And we've got Rad Dad here live at 8:30 tomorrow. So if you're a fan of GTS, if you're a fan of TBW, if you're a fan of any wrestling promotion out there, Rad Dad has got quite a journey, quite a legacy. He's obviously one half of the Stepdads. He's wrestling all over the place. He's even wrestled, get this, the Rock and Roll Express. He's going to talk about that here and anything else he wants to share. This is a must-watch interview. If you're a fan of Sportswire Radio, if you're a fan of GTS, if you're a fan of anybody out there, you will want to tune in 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all Sportswire Radio platforms for the one and only Rad Dad, the GTS Intercontinental Champion, before his huge showdown against a friend of Sportswire Radio's, Mikey Anarchy. And we just saw Rad Dad over at EBW Pro, of course, our friends at EBW Pro, and we've obviously been covering them for a while, so Rad Dad's going to talk about that. He might even talk about a friend of ours that's in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and I'm not talking about Atomic Titan, who's in a Hall of Fame, so I promise you this is going to be a must-watch. But before, Jacob, I bring on Atomic Titan and give us kind of tonight's version of Godzilla vs. Kong before No Return 5. I've promised that I'd open up this package. Now, maybe it is a Jacob Young shirt. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what this package is. So before we bring on Mr. Titan, I'm going to open this package up here for those that are listening and watching. This big package, which I'm almost afraid. You know, Jacob, it was a nice life. If for whatever reason this package isn't from you, and it's almost like dynamite that's going to blow me up, I'm going to say, Jacob, it was a great time having you on Sportswire the last couple times. And I really hope that you do the best you can out there. But I'm going to open up this package, as I promised. So here we go. Package on the way. I'm almost afraid to open this thing up. Oh, there we go. There we go. How about this? And, boy, we got not only one, not only two. I think we got like 50 shirts. Oh my goodness. How about this? We got, it's the good guy, CJ Black. Oh my goodness. I got to wear this CJ Black shirt on the air. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? We got to get him onto the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. I mean, it looks like we've been presented this gift. So I want to give him a big shout out. We have, we have the wild card, Jason Storm. Wow, how about this? I should put all these shirts on, right? That's two. We have, I think this is Jacob Collins. Let's see if it's Jacob Collins. No, it's C Money. We got C Money. I think that I got no money, but I got, this is the coolest shirt yet. ROEW. So there you have it. There you have it. Well, I'm going to put those shirts on in a few minutes. And thank you, CJ Black especially. How about this? I mean, so we'll certainly put that on in a few minutes. But Jacob Young, I'm alive and well. And I'm glad that people will get a chance to see me put the CJ Black shirt on in a second. I hope that'll be one for the ages. And now, can I bring on Mr. Titan?
All right, bring him on.
You sure? Because I don't want you to unleash the Black Fox if you don't want to.
I mean, might as well get it over with.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to respect and acknowledge your hardcore king, the TBW hardcore champion. The Atomic Titan is here. And my friend, happy Easter. You have risen with us live on a Sunday night, and you've been, I'm sure, hearing all night what Jacob Young has had to say, and I'm giving you the opportunity to respond while I put on a new shirt.
I mean, I'm glad to be here, Tom, but let's make it clear to everyone that I am the only king. No matter what company or era it is, I am the king of Tennessee backyard wrestling. No matter what company or era, and I am here to sit on my throne, and nobody's going to take that away from me. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat all that? I fell asleep.
I just said I was the king of Tennessee backyard wrestling, whether you like it or not.
All right, let me ask you a question, Atomic Titan. You've obviously been listening to a lot about what Jacob Young had to say, and he talked about the fact that it's where he's no longer controlling you. You were the puppet on the string that he was controlling. What do you think about that?
I'm no puppet to him. I'm the one that has been controlling him.
Well, how so? Because he was talking about the fact that he was basically responsible for you becoming the hardcore champion, and we saw that when he was on the show last time. So tell the audience how you're responsible for this.
I'm not scared of you, Jacob Young. I never will be. Yeah, you might have unleashed this new persona that I've been portraying for some time. You might have got in my head, but after all that happened, this had to happen because I wasn't going to finish the story. It wasn't that time. So, I had to turn to the hardcore side. So, I haven't been your puppet. I've been the one that put you in the hospital bed. I made you go away for 6 months, and now you're back for a vengeance about what I did to you. It's not going to work that easy. Good job of what you did to Joe Anderson, but come no return next week, it's not going to be pretty for you. You're going to bow down and respect me. You understand me?
Atomic Titan, Jacob Young, I'll let you come in a second, Jacob. But Jacob Young, Atomic Titan, talked also about the fact that, he was basically put through everything. He nearly died, and he's risen. And yes,
something I wished for, Tom.
Well,
literally.
Happy Easter to you too, Atomic Titan.
I mean, no reference to anything, but I'm serious. I wanted that to happen.
Well, why did you want that to happen for? Why? Why would you?
Because he's a loser. That's exactly what I said last week.
You did say that, and you did also say that you beat him twice, but he's still standing. He was put through a lot. I mean, his life was nearly ended by your hands, and yet he's still here. And what does it take to put this man down? I have to ask you that question.
It's going to be easy. Like I said a couple weeks ago on here, it's going to be an easy day for me. It's not going to have to be anything hard to go through. I've went through harder times in TBW. This is just going to be an off day.
You want to say something to that, Mr. Young? I mean, that's, some fighting words there.
Titan, you see that right there, that attitude, that disassimilation, that all you can do is talk lately. That's not what you need to bring to No Return. You need to bring the king to No Return. You need to bring what I gave you to No Return. You need to bring that darkness back to No Return, because if you don't, the only thing you'll be doing at No Return is bowing down and giving me that hardcore championship.
Oh, that is not going to happen. You are delusional. Literally.
The only delusion is the fact that you think you're a king. The closest you've ever been to a king is when the Demon Prince.
You see, I haven't went into that persona in quite a while. I haven't let my demons out, but that's the past. This is the real deal right here. Hardcore king of Tennessee backyard wrestling. I don't have to go into no Black Fox or something else. I'm just myself now. And I proved it every single week I go out there. And there's not a thing you can do about it. And I'm going to show you that at No Return.
I want to ask you guys both this question. You tell me your thoughts, and I want to say hello to a bunch of people. My buddy Ron Franklin, who's sometimes on our shows. James Taylor, I want to wish you happy Easter. Good to see you. Nate says, Atomic Titan, you look like a young Max Caster. Well, Max Caster isn't old, so I don't know, what that really difference might be. But
hey, if you're referencing people that's in AEW, then thank you.
Well, no, I think it's a compliment, but I just want to say
it is a compliment. It is a compliment.
Yeah,
means I can make it somewhere.
Well, you've made it in TBW because TBW has over 7,000 subscribers. And the last show, 158, by the way, is closed in on 1,500 views. 157's got 2,300 views. So you guys have both made it. But I don't want to ask you about that because I know you guys have made it already. But, if I were to say to both of you guys that there's a lot more similarities than you realize, because think of it this way, right? Atomic Titan, last year you were trying to finish the story. We've seen you in, different phases and different runs in your TBW career. Jacob Young, you were once Jacob Anderson. Then you were Jacob Young. And you were the Black Fox. Now you're back to Jacob Young. But you then even said that maybe if you have to unleash the Black Fox, you'll do it. But if I were to say to you guys in your TBW careers that there's more similarities than you both either realize or want to admit, what would you say to that?
That's why I picked Titan.
Why?
That's why. All right, we have similarities, Titan. You were so desperate to finish the story, so desperate. You needed a crutch to stand on. You needed somebody to pull your strings. You needed somebody to lift your spirits. And I gave that to you, and I can take it away. Because when I embraced my darkness, when I embraced my dark place, I have said it before, and I'll say it again. Everybody will know you're nothing more than a filthy stain.
That's all you can reference as being a filthy stain, but you should look at yourself. Literally, that's all you are. You're nothing to me. You see what I did to Joe Anderson? You see what I did to Andrew Clay?
Cheated to win?
No. I hit this up against his face this past week. You should see what I did to his face. You can't even recognize him anymore. He probably won't even make it to no return. I'm going to do the same thing to you. No matter what weapon or anything, it's going to be a real embarrassment.
Atomic Titan, Jacob Young said that if he wins the hardcore title again, he doesn't want to be referred to as the hardcore king. He doesn't need to be a king. He doesn't need to force respect. He wants to go out there and earn it. How do you feel about that?
Well, you see, that's the difference between me and him. He's no hardcore king. He never will be. He has to fight through ways to earn respect. I demand it. These people don't need to earn it, or you know what I mean. I'm sick and tired of that. I want the respect I deserve because, you see, I've been in TBW for going on 7 years.
Well, how about the match with Andrew Clay? Well, wasn't that season 1, episode 1? That was the first match. I mean, so the irony of that you've been here this long, going on 8 seasons, that you are here in this moment, you are demanding the respect. But Jacob Young says, you know what? If I win next week, I don't need to demand it. I'm just going to have it. And on top of that, he talks about the fact that he never lost that hardcore championship. So basically, in a way, he's saying not only is he responsible for you holding that title, but you're, as a matter of fact, holding his championship, which he never lost, as he stated.
Well, you can keep not demanding respect, Jacob Young. You did lose the hardcore title. I don't know if you're really responsible for me holding this now, but you could have fought a little harder at All Hallows Mania if you didn't want me to hold this, because it could have been in your hands, but you were just too short, and that's what makes you a loser. I took out both of you. You had nothing on me. I put that rope around your neck, and I almost broke your neck right there. And I'm going to do even worse next week at No Return. I'm going to prove to the fans that you are nothing. Nothing. I want to make you walk out of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling and never want to come back.
What?
This is my company.
Did you just wait? Before we get to some plugs here and say hello to people, and I want to thank everybody for tuning. We have over 20 people right now watching, so clearly people are enthralled by this. But are you saying Atomic Titan, the Hardcore King, the only Grand Slam winner in TBW history, our current Hardcore champion, by the way, a Hall of Famer in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, that what you're going to do to Jacob Young, you're going to do to him so many things that we may never see him again in TBW? Did you just say that?
Yeah, I just said that because
why?
Tom, let's be real. Jacob Young, he's irrelevant. He got lucky. Joe Anderson was literally, he wasn't good enough. That's why Jacob Young even won that match, because Joe Anderson is no Hardcore King either. Y'all are both past y'all so-called primes, or whatever you want to call it.
Expiration date.
Y'all have, expiration date. That's a good word for that. And it's time that I put an end to all these so-called hardcore wrestlers, even in TBW, whether it's you, Joe Anderson, Manny Cobra, Jay Wild, Russell Cooper, whoever wants to stand in my
Andrew
way.
Clay, certainly. Look what you did to him at 158. What you did to him. I don't even know what we'll see from him if he's even able to stand on his own 2 feet. But Jacob Young, as we put the TBW YouTube channel here, and you can obviously subscribe to TBW on the links here. But did I just hear? Tell me your thoughts on this, Jacob Young. That Atomic Titan talked about hardcore wrestlers, and it almost sounds like, is he maybe trying to eliminate hardcore wrestlers, or trying to say something, maybe with saying something that maybe we haven't known all along, whether it's yourself, whether it's Manny Cobra, whether it's Joe Anderson, who's certainly got his own problems. We saw what happened with Andrew Clay, but do you think that Hollywood Titan, or Atomic Titan, or you call him Atomic Twerp, whatever you want to call him at this point, is on a mission to fully exterminate hardcore wrestling because, well, he's not exactly a hardcore wrestler? Is that what he's telling us here right now?
I think that's exactly what he's saying. You see, but the thing is, he has to be a weasel about it.
Oh, really?
You have to weasel your way out of matches. You have to think of things that are sneaky or underhanded, which, congratulations on your win on Andrew Clay. But when you're in a hardcore environment, when you have to go through glass or tables or get hit with kendo sticks or be beaten with chairs, I've been doing this since I was 18.
Ooh.
Good for you.
I've been hurting people. I've put somebody in the hospital, and maybe I'll put you there next. You see, I can take your head, I'll put it against the post, and I'll go to punt it off your body. Maybe then you'll understand the pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just saw Godzilla and Kong. And I just saw what those two behemoths did in that movie. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds to me, at No Return 5, that these behemoths, Jacob Young and Atomic Titan, what they could do to each other, it might only rival Godzilla and Kong. It may very well exceed it. And it might be the most hardcore wrestling match maybe in history. Forget about Jimmy Controversy and Mac 10 a few weeks ago. Forget about hardcore. Mikey Anarchy is wrestling Rad Dad coming up at Grimomania. Forget about that. Forget about anything you hear from John Moxley these days with Eddie Kingston. Jacob Young and Atomic Titan in an I Bow Down match. We may never see not only these two men the same again, but Tennessee Backyard Wrestling the same again, which is why you want to follow them on a number of different platforms. As I pulled up the YouTube page earlier, check that out. Also, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. Also, if you want to follow Jacob Young, I know Atomic Titan's not following Jacob Young, but if you want to follow him, you have that opportunity in a number of different ways. You can do that here. We have the banner below. You can do that for Atomic Titan, but also Jacob Young. Check him out. Jacob Young 4446 on Instagram. We have that right there below. So make sure you follow these guys. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters. And as a reminder, one more time, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the GTS Intercontinental Champion, Rad Dad Radley Belmont, also one half of the Stepdads, is live on Sportswire Radio. And he is willing to talk about anything, everything. Who knows? Maybe I'll ask him who he thinks is going to win between Jacob Young and Atomic Titan. Who knows? Maybe I'll ask him if he would want to step in the ring with either of these two guys. He has, after all, wrestled the Rock and Roll Express. It'll be one for the ages. Who knows? Who knows? But that's why you want to tune in. Also, if you're on YouTube for the first time, hit that sub button for us at Sportswire Radio 6579, because all wrestling matters. And again, so let me, in the interest of time, let me go to you guys in a different way. So I've asked Jacob Young the question already about what would it mean to him to be the hardcore champion once again. But Atomic Titan and Jacob, I want to give you guys both the opportunity to maybe ask one another a question. It could be anything related to the match. I'm going with you first, Atomic Titan, because you are a hardcore king. You are the only Grand Slam winner in TBW history, and I'm giving you the floor.
Jacob Young, how is it going to feel when I beat you so badly that you're going to have to say the words, "I bow down to your hardcore king"? Now answer that.
Oh, Atomic Titan, my answer is the only time you're going to hear me say those words
Oh, I'll make you say those words.
in the promo that I said last week when I referenced it.
Interesting. And
You know what? You're gonna have to put tape over my mouth. I'm gonna have to put tape over my mouth. I mean, or something, because I'm not gonna be saying those words. You're not gonna hear it at all. No matter what move, what weapon you put me through, I don't care if it's a table, flaming table, light tubes. I don't care.
oh my goodness, Atomic Titan!
Put me to say those words.
You're talking about light tubes. You're talking about flaming tables. I mean, listen, forget about everybody that comes on the Sportswire and says they're hardcore. This match is going to make those guys look pedestrian. But Jacob Young, I want to give you the opportunity, conversely. Would you like to ask Atomic Titan a question?
Well, I have one question for you, Titan.
Mm-hmm.
When you say the words, and you will, because you won't have a choice. When you say those words, will you finally realize that I've just been doing this to help you? I've been doing this for you. I've been trying to make you a better person, a better man, and I've been trying to give you and get you the respect you deserve, but you don't seem to understand. So when you say those words, how will you feel? How will you understand? How will you know that you finally see me for what I am? A friend.
I don't
Really
see what you're
told
meaning.
You a friend. He said
a
you should see him as a friend. I think that's the most stunning development the whole night. Jacob Young says that you should see him, Atomic Titan, as a friend.
I don't think so. I don't think we're friends. I have no friends. I don't need any friend. All I had, even in the past, was people out there to help me win championships and do what I do best. You're not a friend. You were just a person in my way to success like this. I wasn't even made for hardcore wrestling. And Beast, at the time, put me in a hardcore championship opportunity. And what did I do?
And your job was on the line, by the way. If you didn't get the job done, I mean, we may not be talking about you right now. I don't know what to say. I mean, maybe we're talking about you in a different promotion. I don't know. I don't know what the future of Atomic Titan would have been if you didn't.
But to refer to me as a friend, that's not cool. No friends.
Oh boy, that's some fighting words. You know, Easter's supposed to be the day where everybody rises, the Easter bunny, Easter egg hunts, but it don't seem like that. But I want to, before I come back to the comments here, and guys, I want to give a congratulations to my buddy, Mr. Ace Reed of the Wired Up podcast, because he just hit 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So Ace has been a frequent friend of the show. He is obviously a triple champion in BW. He's all the way out there in Australia. I want to make sure if you're out there, give him a follow. Make sure you hit that sub button for him. And congratulations to Ace Reed all the way out there in Australia. He's done some great interviews. Jack Delta, Jackson Law. There's my mic.
Bro, I was like, what happened?
I'm so excited my microphone dropped because Ace Reed just hit 1,000 subscribers. So I want to say, Ace, happy Easter. Thank you for all that you do. But let me get to some more comments here. First of all, Mr. Allen wants to say, keep this professional, Young and Titan. I mean, certainly everybody knows how Titan treats his allies. Open and closed quotes there. So that certainly refers to, I see you getting angry there, Mr. Titan.
Josh, just stay out of my way.
Well, he's got problems with Joe Anderson right now. He's got problems with Joe Anderson. He's got this whole, which we're not even going to go there, with Beast, Jay Wild, and Russell Cooper, and Gage Flair. We're not even going there with that. So Joshua Allen might have the toughest job, I would say, in all of wrestling right now, with everything going on in TBW. But, Nate has a good question. In a way, I mean, you shared a locker room with Jimmy Controversy, Atomic Titan. Maybe that's your next victim once you get past Jacob Young. Maybe Jimmy Controversy's coming to TBW next. I have no idea. Who knows?
I mean, if he wants to step up and show the respect I deserve to me, then come on, Jimmy Controversy.
Yeah, you know what? I'll make sure. You know what? I'm going to bring that up tomorrow. I'm going to ask Rad Dad that question, and I'm going to make sure I ask him. You, both of you guys. I'm going to ask Rad Dad what he thinks. So you know what? Who knows?
On anybody.
Well, certainly we're going to make sure that Jimmy Controversy and Rad Dad, who only work for the 7th biggest wrestling company on YouTube, we should definitely bring up TBW to those guys. Because obviously TBW is the mothership. TBW is one of the biggest companies in the world currently. So why not? Maybe we should do GTS versus TBW. Who knows? I don't know. That'd be a good idea. Somebody should check on that. I mean, Joshua Allen, maybe you should get on the phone and call Grim and say, you know what? Let's do TBW versus GTS, because I'm going to bring that up tomorrow, because you know what? Let's see the real battle lines be drawn. Let's see the 2 biggest companies of them all. Let's see GTS. Let's see what Grim and his allies can do. Let's see what TBW can do.
Bring me some so-called real competition. Like I said,
yeah, you know what? I think it's time.
So-called.
Let's see the 2 biggest companies square off after all. Let's see, you know what? Who's the better company? Because, Grim watches TBW. Let's be honest. Everybody watches TBW. I mean, they can say what they want, but the views speak for it that GTS and TBW are neck and neck right now. So, and you know what? I'm with Nate. That's a great idea, Joshua Allen. Somebody can get on the phone and call Controversy, call Dirty Ron, somebody. But, okay, let's move off to that. We've got about 20 or so minutes with you guys. So I want to go with a different route. And let me go with Jacob Young first, because you're the challenger. Jacob Young, what do you want to say to anybody watching or listening to this before No Return 5 and what they can expect from your match to reclaim your hardcore championship, which you never lost, against Atomic Titan?
You see, like I stated before, and I'll say it again, if I have to bring out the Black Fox, I will, but I don't want to, because I don't want him to become a gimmick again. But here's the thing. You could have been a friend, Titan. You could have been a friend, but now I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to break you. I'm going to break a bone. I'm going to put you in the hospital. You could have had a friend in me. You could have embraced what I tried to give you. And until you do, and until you understand that's what you need to beat me, you'll never truly get rid of me.
Well, about the friend thing and everything else, I'm glad that you say you're going to hurt me. I'm glad that you say you're going to put me in the hospital because that's what I want. I want you to bring everything to the table and no return. I don't want no easy crap going into this. I don't want you to have sort of an off day going into this match. I want you to bring everything to the table. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. You understand me? I wanted real competition, and you better bring it, or else.
Champ, I want to ask you conversely the same question. And what do you want to say to anybody that is going to watch this at No Return 5 and what they can expect from you?
They're going to expect the same thing, but even better. You see, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a lot of hell that Jacob Young and myself are going to go through to make each other say, I bow down. Which one will it be? It won't be me, though.
It won't be.
him. It's going to be him.
So what's it going to be like then when you make Jacob Young bow down? When you make him bow down, what's that going to mean to you?
It's going to mean I put an end to a story that has been going on for 6 months now.
If you win this match at No Return 5, would you consider yourself the greatest hardcore wrestler of all time?
Oh yeah, and like going back to your question earlier on, I'm not here to, what you said, pretty much like eliminate the hardcore guys.
Wrestling, correct.
I'm not trying to eliminate hardcore guys. I'm trying to expose them because I don't think they're hardcore enough. Ever since I came into this division, it has been so relevant. While I wasn't out of it, it was irrelevant. Now you see the hardcore title and the top priority of matches. It's not on the beginning of the show no more. It's at the very end, close to the very end. It should be the main event, but you got people in our main event spot. And if it wasn't the hardcore title, it would be the main event. It should be the main event. And that's the Jay Wild, Gage Flair, Russell Cooper. I don't care who it is. This should be the main event. Not that. I'm sick and tired of the disrespect, Tom. They're going to eventually come and realize that come anniversary, when I still am the champion, it should be the main event of whoever I am facing, whether it's Jacob Young again or whoever it is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we may not get this match for quite a while because no matter who wins this match, they're going to get a chance to stake their claim as, even if they don't want to admit it or not, the true hardcore king, and maybe, just maybe, the best hardcore wrestler, pound for pound, in this sport here. Let me get to some more comments here before I get to Mr. Allen. Jacob Young from James Taylor just wanted to let you know the Nemesis respects you. Best of luck in all future matches. Okay, that's a good endorsement, I suppose. We have here, don't worry, I'm not going to make this podcast about me. Nothing can do that tonight because we have a lot of TBW talk ahead in the future, and James Taylor is going to be back here Saturday night, so he'll have a lot to say, and I'm looking forward to him coming back. And I bow down. So Nate's already bowing down to both of you guys. So apparently Nate is convinced. And is Nick Gage hardcore enough? Well, guys think about it after they get through with each other on No Return 5. But here's Mr. Allen, some important news here. No Return 5, which will have the Texas Hangman, Andrew Clay versus Chaotic. Oh, you've seen what Chaotic has been doing. Oh, baby. Atomic Titan versus Jacob Young for the TBW Hardcore Championship. It was an I Bow Down match. And the main event, the triple threat there. I mean, who knows what can happen there? Those three guys have been killing each other of late between the current champion, Russell Cooper, Gage Flair, the Intercontinental Champion, and the Prophet Jay Wild, who arguably could be pound for pound the true champion right now. I mean, that's a dream match in itself. All these matches are dream matches, which is why you need to follow Tennessee Backyard Wrestling on all platforms, and especially on YouTube at TBW 2017, where they have nearly 7,200 subscribers. I said, before we get to closing thoughts, that TBW would have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, well, what was it, 7,000 like 2 weeks ago? So we gained about almost 175 in a week and a half. So that means, do the math, and we have, 35 weeks left in the year, something like that, 38 weeks. That means we're actually on track to get that goal of 10,000. So if you're out here right now, hit that sub button for TBW, but also tell your friends, get their friends, and get everybody to support TBW for All Wrestling Matters. And while you're at it, hit that sub button for us on Sportswire Radio, because after all, we're the only place. There is no other place than Sportswire Radio that covers the pros, that covers the independents, that covers the underground, that covers the backyard. We do it all, and we even do sports to boot, which is why you need to support Sportswire Radio. We are All Wrestling Matters, all sports matters. Before I get to closing thoughts here, I've got a couple of more comments. And also breaking news here. TBW, I mean, this is what Joshua Allen's leadership is bringing us here in TBW. Joe Anderson will meet the individual who's been leaving these messages and hints. I still have no clue who this is, but I hope I just want to say, I know, Jacob Young, you said you're done with Joe Anderson, and Atomic Titan, you're already beating up Joe Anderson like there's really no tomorrow rather than no return. But I was really afraid for Joshua Allen after what I saw with that kind of, they went to each other and saw the table with the deck of cards and the hand pull out. I mean, I'm just glad you guys aren't in the middle of that situation, and Joshua Allen's going to have to figure that out. I mean, poor Joshua Allen. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I know, Mr. Titan, you're probably happy he's dealing with this, and, Jacob Young, you're focused on, obviously, being the puppet to the puppet master that you control, and obviously you've called Atomic Titan Atomic Twerp already, and I think at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the battle lines have been drawn. There's no more talking that needs to be done between these two men. They've established that what these two men are going to do to each other, they're not only going to be never the same again, but I still say TBW is never going to be the same again. Because we've heard what Atomic Titan has said. He's called Jacob Young a loser. He's already beaten him twice. There's no way Jacob Young could beat Atomic Titan, because Jacob Young's got his number. Atomic Titan's got his number. Jacob Young has said that there's nothing you could do to put me down. You nearly killed me. Atomic Titan said, well, I wished you would have been. We've heard all these guys go back and forth all night tonight. So let's get to closing thoughts here. I'm going with you, Jacob Young, first, because you're the challenger. And this could be your moment to show once again why you're the true hardcore champion, even though you claim that you're actually still technically, in a way, the hardcore champion. But I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you some closing thoughts, and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. And the floor is yours, and I guess we'll have to find out if it's Jacob Young, or maybe we see, for old time's sakes, the Black Fox once again.
All right. So all I'm going to say is go watch No Return when it comes out. And Titan, that passion, that fire, that inspirational speech you just gave, I hope you bring whatever you can to No Return. I hope you leave it all on the table, because at the end of the day, the only man gonna be saying I bow down will be Atomic Titan.
Ooh, that's why you want to follow Jacob Young on Instagram, Jacob Young 4446. You check him out, and we'll see. He's called Atomic Titan, Atomic Twerp. He said before that he was the puppet and he was controlling him. No longer that's the case. He's just the filth on his stain, the back of his shirt, and we'll find all of that comes to a head at No Return 5. Champ, I'm giving you the floor. I'm giving you the respect to give your final words here. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, and the floor is yours, and I pass the baton to you.
Like he said, go watch No Return. But Jake Young, my final message to you is heard here on Sportswire Radio. Bring any entity. Bring the Black Fox. Bring back Jacob Anderson. Bring whoever the hell you want. But you better be ready to bow down and respect your hardcore king. And that is what I'm going to say, because at the end of the day, you better bring it all. You better bring that passion like you just told me. You better bring that fire under you like you said on Rampage. You better be ready to kill me. You better be ready to brutally beat me down, because you will have to make me say the words, I bow down. And you're going to have to do anything in your power to get that to come out of my mouth, because it's not going to be that easy and no return. You understand me? Until then, rest up, get ready, and I'll see you then.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, before we sign off, I still contest that there's a lot more similarities to Jacob Young and Atomic Titan than they may realize. Jacob Young was Jacob Anderson. He was the Black Fox. He was Jacob Young. He might be the Black Fox again. Atomic Titan may be our hardcore king now, but he was finishing the story or attempting to finish the story at one point. He was a part of the industry. He was a part of things with Joshua Allen, and he's gone and had many things in phases of his career. But at the end of the day, what brings them together is this match coming up at No Return 5, which will arguably not only shape their careers, but probably change the face of Tennessee backyard wrestling and hardcore wrestling as we know it, because the winner of this match will be able to rightfully claim not only they're the hardcore champion, but very well be the most hardcore wrestler in this sport that we all love here. All wrestling that matters, and Tennessee Backyard Wrestling has done all of that. If you want to follow Atomic Titan, there he's on Instagram, and he's on TikTok at Atomic Titan. TBW Tennessee Backyard Wrestling is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, also YouTube, TBW 2017. And one more time before we sign off, tomorrow night, you will not want to miss this one, 8:30 p.m., GTS Intercontinental Champion, Rad Dad Radley Belmont. He is here to speak. He might even speak about these guys. He's going to speak about his journey, the Rock and Roll Express, Mikey Anarchy, Grimomania, plus anything else you want to throw at him. He's going to be here all night long. So you might be thinking about WrestleMania, but we're on the road to Grimomania. It is amazing to have him on here. What an honor it is to have Rad Dad. But until then, gentlemen, I want to wish you guys a very happy rest of the Easter. I definitely learned that you guys gave us our own version of Godzilla and Kong, and I think that when you behemoths step in the ring, we're never going to be the same again, and I can't wait to watch it. And congratulations on all the success, guys, and we're looking forward to seeing the fallout. Hopefully, one of you guys comes away, and after whoever has to bow down to you guys, and you guys come back onto Sportswire Radio and tell us all about it, especially the winner, and whoever is forced to say, I bow down, well, I'm sure we'll find that all of it in some. But gentlemen, thank you so much, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had our own Easter egg hunt, you might want to say, as Sportswire Radio has risen. We have risen to give you coverage of No Return 5 once again, and getting ready for their hardcore championship match. For the winner gets to say for their opponent to I bow down, and we have the current champion, Atomic Titan, our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the hardcore king. I like to refer to him as not only the hardcore king of Sportswire Radio, but Hollywood Titan. And the challenger, the man that never lost the championship. He was once known as Jacob Anderson. He was once known as Jacob Young, the Black Fox. Now he's back as Jacob Young, and the dog is definitely barking because Jacob Young is going to give us a big bark, and that is Jacob Young. He's here, and these guys are going to certainly say a lot coming up here at No Return 5. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all the wrestling matters. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regular social programming. And one more time, if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Be there or be square, Radley Belmont. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support over the years. God bless, and I'll see everybody tomorrow night. And thank you to TBW for all of their support over the past year. Please support TBW. They have done so many great things for us. We want to continue to support those that have our backs, and we'll always have TBW's backs. So make sure you support them. Thank you, everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow.